You are the ultimate arbiter as to what comes out of your mouth. The person I was talking to was concerned about being viewed as manipulative. Ugh. And I said, well, are you? He goes, no, I'm not a manipulator. Between influence and manipulation. You know what that is? What's the difference? Intent of the speaker. That's the difference. If the speaker's intent is to manipulate, as I mentioned earlier this morning, they stink. They smell. Literally, you know them when they walk into the room. We talked yesterday, and now I'm going off on a tangent. We talked yesterday about, somebody asked the question about, well, what if you're faced with someone who's using Black Swan skills with you? What's the intent? We had a guy show up at a live event. Registration table is out in the hallway, as is customary. And he starts going in on the person that we had at the registration table with Black Swan skills. I mean, he just boom, one after the other. He was pouring on so thick that there wasn't really a lot of back and forth. It was just him demonstrating, I know what a label is, I know how to ask calibrated questions, I know the phases of no, and he's throwing all of this stuff out. And I'm hearing this, and it's starting to give the person that's working at the table a problem. Clear what this guy said to his wife as they drove to the venue, I'm going to use these skills on these guys to get a full freight ticket into the venue. Everybody else who's there is paid in advance. He shows up with no ticket, and he wants entry into this event. We're trying not to be difficult. You want to pay at the door? We'll work out a way to get you to pay at the door. Not only does he want to pay at the door, he doesn't want to pay full freight. He wants to pay half of what everybody else paid. And it was clear that on the way to the venue, he had that conversation with his wife and said, watch me do this on these guys and get the way in, and get our way in. Before I get to him, Chris's son gets to him. Chris has already told you what his son looks like. And so he immediately flips and starts using the skills with Brandon. And Brandon said, I'm sorry, we're not going to do that. And the guy starts again. Brandon hits him with another phase of no. And finally, he goes, the typical, well, what makes you say that? And he goes, it's your attitude. Your attitude stinks. You're using the skills to try to get over on us. It's disingenuous. Pay the full price or you can leave. And he wound up leaving. But as soon as he hit the door, there was just a stench about him. And so you're going to be able to smoke out when people are trying to manipulate you, which is why I said yesterday, you should rejoice if the person that you're engaging with on the other side of the table tells you that they are Black Swan trained, because you guys are going to arrive at an agreement that both of you are happy with faster than anyone else, provided they're not using it to try to manipulate you.